Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Can you name the top 10 highest mountains in the world? The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. It's pretty famous. Everyone knows about Mount Everest. Most people also know the second highest mountain in the world is K2. But very few people know the third highest mountain in the world is called Kangchenjunga, or how to spell that. It's not quite as simple as K2, that's for sure. So, how many of the highest mountains in the world do you really know? By the time you get onto the rest of the 10 highest mountains in the world, most don't have a clue. A top 10 of the world's highest mountains contains itself exclusively to Asia. Number 1. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is in the Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet, Autonomous Region, and China. It stands at the height of 8,848 meters. First climbed by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953, Mount Everest is, of course, the highest mountain in the world. Everest has come under a lot of scrutiny recently. Photographs showing enormous queues near the summit have opened a huge debate about overcrowding on Everest. One thing's for sure though, the inherent draw of Mount Everest is not going to go away anytime soon. Mankind is drawn to the mountain like moths to a flame. As well as those looking to take the route from Everest Base Camp to the summit, trekking to Everest Base Camp itself is also hugely popular. In fact, it's become one of the world's famous multi-day treks. Number 2. K2, Karakoram, Pakistan, China. It stands at a height of 8,611 meters. The second highest mountain in the world is K2. The mountain took its name from the notation used by the Great Trigonometrical Survey of British India. At the time, there wasn't an apparent local name for the mountain, and so it stuck. K2 is also nicknamed the Savage Mountain. The mountain is typically considered one of the toughest mountains in the world to climb, notoriously harder than Mount Everest. K2 actually has the second highest fatality rate per summit attempt of all mountains over 8,000 meters, and with around 300 successful summits and 77 deaths. K2 has never been summited in winter. Number 3. Kangchenjunga, Himalayas, Nepal, India. It stands at a height of 8,586 meters. Kangchenjunga is the third highest mountain in the world. It can be found between Nepal and Sikkim in India, with 3 of the peaks on the border and the other 2 in the Dhaulagiri district of Nepal. Kangchenjunga was actually thought to be the highest mountain in the world until 1852. This wasn't because people didn't know about Mount Everest, but because they had done their calculations wrong. After further work by the Great Trigonometrical Survey of India, it was discovered that actually Kangchenjunga was the third highest mountain in the world. Number 4. Lhotse, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, and China. It stands at the height of 8,516 meters. Lhotse is one of the more famous mountains on any list of the top 10 highest mountains in the world, largely because of its proximity to Mount Everest. The route up Lhotse is the same as that up Mount Everest from Everest Base Camp, until you pass Camp 3 and then depart to the Res Color from the Lhotse's face, from where the peak of Lhotse is reached. Lhotse is little like the neglected younger sibling of Mount Everest. Everest gets all the attention while Lhotse, though often considered more visually attractive, is significantly less busy. While the main summit of Lhotse was first climbed in 1956, the Lhotse Middle actually remained the highest unclimbed named point on Earth for decades. It was eventually first scaled in 2011 by a Russian expedition. Number 5. Makalu, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, and China. It has a height of 8,485 meters. Makalu is the third of the four 8,000-meter high mountains in the Everest Massif in Nepal. It was first summited by a French expedition led by Jean Franco in 1955. Their ascent was most notable for the fact that a full 10 members of the expedition team summited the mountain on the trip. In those days, it was normally only one or two climbers from each team who reached the top of the mountain on an expedition. So, this was a huge deal at that time. And generally, it is just quite nice, isn't it? The first two summited on 15 May 1955. Then, 4 more went up the next day. Then, 4 more went up the day after that. Number 6. Cho-Oyu, Himalayas, Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region, and China. It stands at a height of 8,188 meters. The fourth and final member of the Everest region's 8,000-meter club is Cho-Oyu, the sixth highest mountain in the world at 8,188 meters. Cho-Oyu is considered the easiest of the 8,000-meter mountains to climb due to the gentler slopes of the ascent. It's also just a few kilometers away from the Nanga Pass, a major trading route between the Tibetan and Khumbu Sherpas. Number 7. Dhaulagiri, Nepal. It stands at a height of 8,167 meters. The Dhaulagiri in Nepal is one of the most aesthetically stunning mountains of the lot. The Dhaulagiri was first climbed on 13th May 1960, but is perhaps best known for its visibility on the popular Annapurna circuit. With Annapurna just 34 kilometers away from the Dhaulagiri, a regular feature on the skyline while trekking Annapurna. The mountains are separated by the world's deepest gorge, the Gandaki Gorge. Number 8. Manaslu, Nepal. It stands at a height of 8,163 meters. Manaslu is the 8th highest mountain in the world. The name actually comes from the Sanskrit word manasa, which means intellect or soul. Manaslu was first scaled by Toshio Imanishi and Galizan Norbu, who were part of the Japanese expedition which reached the top of the mountain on 9th May 1956. Their ascent was controversial. Locals of the area had prevented a Japanese team from reaching the top in 1954, believing that previous attempts had displeased the gods and caused avalanches that destroyed a monastery in the area, killing 18 people. The Japanese made a substantial donation to rebuild the monastery, but this didn't restore goodwill towards the expeditions, and as a result, the second ascent of Manaslu didn't take place until 1971, where another Japanese team completed the ascent. Number 9. Nanga Parbat, Pakistan. It stands at a height of 8,126 meters. The 9th highest mountain in the world is Nanga Parbat, in the Diamar district of Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan region in the western Himalayas. Like many of other mountains, the name comes from Sanskrit, with Nanga and Parvata meaning naked mountain. The Tibetan name for the mountain, Diamar, meaning huge mountain, is maybe a bit more appropriate. Nanga Parbat truly towers over the surroundings. Low-lying valleys are rounded in every direction. The stunning Rupal face of the mountain rises a full 4,600 meters above its base and is often called the highest mountain face in the world. Number 10. Annapurna I, Nepal. It stands at a height of 8,091 meters. Annapurna I in Nepal is the 10th highest mountain in the world, and one of the most famous mountains on the list courtesy of the fact that trekking in Annapurna is truly world-renowned. Annapurna I may be only the 10th highest mountain in the world, but it actually has a higher fatality rate than any other mountain on this list, with 32% of attempts to reach the top of the mountain resulting in a fatality. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, remember to like and share. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you guys in our next video.